Greetings, everyone. My name is Magsaysay, and today I will be talking about the ethicality of Filipino lawmakers and politicians letting their religious beliefs and affiliations influence their lawmaking decisions. For the outline of my presentation, first is the introduction, wherein I will be talking about the four primary social political issues, namely Soji Bill, divorce, same sex marriage, and abortion, that I believe need to be addressed. The second portion of my presentation will tackle and expound more on Immanuel Kant's duty ethics and its relation to the topic. The third part of my presentation will talk about my claim and argument regarding the topic. In the final part of this presentation, I'll be giving the conclusion that I arrive at. The first social political issue that I will be discussing is the Soji Bill. House Bill number 4982, or an act prohibiting discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity or expression, and providing penalties therefor, is a bill that seeks to address the discrimination that individuals who belong to different sexual orientations and gender identities experience. There have been other bills that sought to address discrimination in the past, but none that specifically included individuals who belong to the LGBTQIA+. The second social political issue that I will be discussing is divorce. Divorce is defined as the legal dissolution of marriage. Despite annulment being legally available in the Philippines, it comes with a very high cost, which may act as a hindrance to married couples who wish to go their separate ways. It is also important to note that divorce is illegal under any circumstance, even if an agent's life is already in danger due to the marriage. According to Pew Research Center in 2015, 81% or 8 in every 10 Filipinos are Catholic. This could be the reason why the majority of Filipino citizens and lawmakers oppose divorce, since the Bible states that it is a form of adultery. The third social political issue that I will be discussing is same sex marriage. Same sex marriage is defined as a marriage between two individuals who belong to the same sex. Statistics show that 61% of Filipinos do not support the civil union of homosexual couples. This data, however, is opposed by Pew Research Center's survey that shows that 73% of Filipinos support and accept homosexuality. The issue of the marriage or union of same sex couples is seen as even more controversial due to the inequality the same sex couples may experience from the government aids that are readily available for straight married couples. Consider this hypothetical. In the event that a spouse is in need of medical operation, his or her spouse needs to give their approval in order for the physician to perform the required operation on the patient. This is not the case for same sex couples. Since they are not recognized by the law, they are not allowed to consent to such medical operations, which may be time sensitive. Despite such strong groundwork and basis for the legalization of same sex marriage in the Philippines, our politicians and lawmakers still fail to advance bills into laws. The last social political issue that I'll be discussing is abortion. Abortion is defined as the deliberate termination of human pregnancy. According to the revised Penal Code of the Philippines, abortion is illegal under any circumstance, whether if the justification for the abortion is rape, incest, or even eliminating the danger on the life of a woman. Abortion is still criminally punishable by the law. In the Philippines, the most notable law that has been passed in terms of reproductive health was the Responsible Parenthood and Reproductive Health Act of 2012, or the Reproductive Health Law, a law that made contraceptives and sex education more accessible to the public. The framework that I used in order to determine the ethicality of the influence of religious affiliations and beliefs on the law and policy-making decisions of lawmakers was Immanuel Kant's duty ethics, or the categorical imperative. Immanuel Kant's duty ethics, or the categorical imperative, is a set of commands that is binding on all human beings. According to Kantian philosophy, an action is considered as immoral if it infringes on and not in accordance with the categorical imperative. Additionally, duty should be the only motive of any moral action, and inclination or any form of self interest when doing an action is deemed immoral. I will now be presenting my claim and argument regarding the topic. I claim that it is unethical for lawmakers to let their religious affiliations affect and influence the laws that they aim to advance. The reasoning for this claim is that since not everyone has the same religious background, it would be wrong to force them to abide by laws that would infringe on their health, safety, and rights. Here is the argument strategy that I used. Number one, there are lawmakers who let their religious affiliations or beliefs influence their law and policy making decisions. Number two, all Filipino citizens are bound by the same set of laws dictated by the Constitution. Number three, not all Filipinos have the same religious beliefs or are affiliated with any religion. Number four, according to Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative, duty should be the only motive of any moral action, and inclination or any form of self interest when doing an action is deemed as immoral. And lastly, therefore, it is unethical and immoral for lawmakers to let their religious affiliations or beliefs influence their law and policy making decisions. To conclude everything that I discussed, the Philippines is a country that is predominantly Catholic, wherein 8 in every 10 Filipinos are Catholic. In a country that has been heavily influenced by the Roman Catholic Church, it will definitely be difficult to pass laws that go against the belief of the majority. However, this is not sufficient reason for Filipino citizens who experience oppression from the law to suffer injustice and inequality. The author believes that it is unethical for the country's lawmakers to let their religious beliefs and affiliations affect their lawmaking decisions on the grounds that it violates Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative, which states that duty should be the only sole reason for an action to be deemed as morally right. Thank you for listening.